have me respond to these and then send
Okay,
them to
so
you.
we're going to move on to the teacher presenters. Thank you again, Joseph. I really appreciate taking time to do this.
Okay.
And
you want me to do it with the audio or type this in, as I don't want to impinge on other people's presentations. Okay. Okay, first, the song. No, just kidding. Yes, Michelle's wondering, how do you map your own globe data inside ArcGIS? I would do it in ArcGIS Online. If you have a spreadsheet, save it out, for example. One way to do it is to save it as a CSV, comma separated value, and then you can go into ArcGIS Online and add the data, and I'll just demonstrate that really fast here. So I'm going to go to, let's say we're going to zoom in here. I'm going to change the base map to imagery. And then, okay, so I've got some data here. Now I'm going to add data, and I'm going to add layer from file. So if you've got a CSV, you can add it right here. So I'm going to choose my file, and I've got a,
Decatur here,
for example, a file that I've saved on my computer. So this would be just exactly what you would do. And I've got one here, and I'm going to import that layer, and here is a data set. I'm going to change
in my
the
area
symbology
was that
so
there was lots
that
of vandalism to the area we were studying. We were studying the outdoor lab,
a little bit better,
and there's lots of trash and different
change
things.
symbols, and
And
I'm
we
going to
actually
map
took
it
the
this
kids out
time
there, and
on
they saw
How
that,
About
and
Elevation. This was a track
said,
that
we need to clean this up.
I
so
took,
that started the whole
and
process,
okay, so
really
I mean, it's nothing more complicated than that. So you, instead of your track points from your field work with the students, this could be dots of your pH and streams, or your your soil chemistry, or your tree height and tree species, that sort of thing.
Of course,
so that's one thing I wanted to say, is that it's quite easy to bring in globe data.
And then we have our outdoor
Kim's
lab.
asking, where do you get the earthquake and volcano layers? They're already on ArcGIS Online, and those are just feeds from places like the Pacific Disaster Center, USGS, and others. So the nice thing is that all these agencies that are, again, producing data, they put their data up there inside this cloud GIS environment, and you've got full access to a boatload of data.
We also have
okay, now Twyla's wondering about this expense. No, nothing I've done actually costs any money. This is running in a web browser, and you're freely available to go out and play in that sandbox. Also, you can save maps. That map that I pulled up, that I looked at my own map, I saved it, right? So that way I can come into the classroom, in a week's time, and then go ahead and open it up and have the students open it up.
As we like to call them.
Okay,
so I am working with my high ability class, and then Marianne is working with the 8th graders.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of lessons. Peter's asking about, what kind of lessons tie into this. Some teachers, they tell me, just send me the map and the data, and I can create my own lesson. Other people want short lessons, other people want longer lessons. So there are definitely lessons out there in that website that I had associated with my intro slide. And
some of the other kids
there are no shortage
actually were very excited
of
about
those things. So
it up, and they went out with us, and we had a competition to see who could collect the most trash. So we ended up
happy to do a whole webinar too on ArcGIS Online. I've talked to Julie about it too.
Yeah,
so
it was very
she seems open to the idea. So it's
okay,
guys,
8B is my area, and this is,
I know that 10 minutes with this is not enough.
area, and it's literally an enclosed courtyard area, and the pond itself is self-contained. There's no keep the water quality checks current and accurate, so that we can make sure that we keep our fish population alive. They discovered which they didn't know before, that we had koi in our pond, and the koi fish that we
And
have
it's the perfect tools for globe.
there are
It
two
really
that
is.
are probably 4 babies. So the kids were really worried that
Thank you. I'm going to hang on and listen to you cool folks.
That could make wetland area toward the back of it as well. Rubber liner and a border. It's got 2 pumps which are now incapacitated. Neither one of our pumps work. So it's been a really difficult last couple of weeks without any pumps in the water. And I'll get to what we're going to do about that in a little while. But we have 2 mature adults, like I said, in the pond, and about 200 babies. And we also ended up moving some of the babies into my classroom. So I've got a 70-gallon tank full of fish in my room. Figure out exactly how much water it held, and they also had to figure out for globe and the site requirements what exactly our measurements were, and something about the area. So that's what they're doing in those 2 pictures. We decided together, Amy and I decided together what our questions were going to be, and they sort of are the same question. Is what do we need to know to keep our environments healthy? Amy's stream area, and what does the climate do? It definitely affects our lab with the pond, because the pond is, when the winter weather hit it, it was just destroyed. It's a mess. Change. The entry document, sorry. We had to start somewhere, so we gave the kids an opportunity to explore the labs and rate the condition. They had to collect some data, initial data, and then decide whether or not the area is definitely needed to be improved, or what their conditions were. And we also had some Purdue scientists come down and help us review that data. And they discussed the conditions with the kids and came to the conclusions, the same conclusions that the kids did, that it definitely needs to be maintained a little bit better.
And we used Julie as in our entry document, because we wrote it as if Julie was writing the letters to the kids. So the kids really got involved with it as well, because they were excited, because they had seen me like communicating with Julie. So they were like, oh, she really is, and
she does exist.
She is in charge, or she is involved with Globe, so they were excited about that.
The protocols that we chose to add to our study were precipitation, air temperature, and water quality for the pond area. We had tons and tons of rain in the last month, couple of weeks, which literally flooded the area, wreaked all kinds of havoc on the pond. Air temperature is important because we change every 5 minutes here in Indiana, as I'm sure lots of other areas do. But we have to make sure that we can maintain our pond based on what the temperature is. And the water quality, definitely, since it's a closed system, we have to keep that healthy.
And then we, outside in the stream area, in the wooded area, we looked at the turbidity of the water, the temperature, the pH. The kids started to get interested in the wildlife and what kind of animals were in the area. And we also looked at the cloud cover, see how that affected the area.
So learning the protocols definitely had some challenges. The kids learned right off how to follow instructions. They honestly struggled with that in the beginning. Keeping their data organized is tough for everybody. We thankfully the Globe organized system that you have online helps them a lot, and they learned how to accurately collect data based on the Globe protocols, and that was really good for them.
Here's some of my kids in action. They're making some observations in our wooded area, our outdoor lab. They're making some more with the temperature of the water and then the turbidity.
These were the first opportunities my kids had in the pond area to set up the weather station and use it. And obviously it was right after a snowstorm, and they, sorry about the sideways picture, those are the ones that the kids took, sorry about that. But they were testing for the first time their air temperature.
And there's some of my kids with the pH. It gets a little muddy out there. So, and we go out when it's cold most of the time, if the principal let us. If it gets too cold, however, they say we can't. Anyway, yeah, she's getting the pH. She's collecting pH.
Rain catcher, and it was hilarious. They didn't do very well at first, and it's amazing what happens when you read the directions. These were some of my other Globies testing oxygen content, and they did end up testing nitrates, but they are going to have to practice that a lot more. Oxygen content we need to do every week because we have to maintain the pond area, and since our pumps are broken, pond oxygen.
So far, we've discovered with the pH that our streams about an 8, 7, 7.5 in November, but generally it's stated an 8. And so we did research to figure out why. And we discovered that there's a car wash in the area, so we think that might be why it's more basic. Maybe the runoff is getting into the stream. So, and then the water transparency has been clear for us, 0 JTUs. So one time a month it went up a little bit where it wasn't.
Obviously around here, and especially
Okay,
in the
well,
spring
thank you,
and the
Amy and
fall,
Mary Ann.
there
This
are
is
some
great.
radical
I've loved seeing the
fluctuations.
students in action.
They definitely have put.
So, are there any questions for them? I know you get Jen on quickly.
The pond in jeopardy. When I started this, I knew nothing
Well,
about
thank you,
ponds,
ladies.
and the learning curve has been huge. But we actually
I'm going to share quickly what
the pond liner
Chris has been
back
up
down
to.
so that we can save some of our larger koi. The air temperature apparently had a big, huge.
Currently, they're enjoying their lovely
precipitation
snow.
as well. We've had lots
snow
of rain.
days.
We've had lots of snow.
But
the water
okay,
testing.
Jen, you are good to go.
Oxygen levels have to be tested relatively all the time. A couple of times a week is what we're doing, I think, now. so that we can make sure, tested weekly, I guess we're down to weekly, to make sure that the fish have enough oxygen, and that's the most important thing the kids found out about that particular breed of fish
here
and that pond, that they need oxygen. We have some community partners that are new to us. The Indiana Koi and Water Garden Club, who knew? I have a meeting to go to next week, and the kids are all excited to see what they're going to be able to help us with. And the lady that I spoke with at the club said that she is excited about hearing
No, we can't hear
about our
you.
pond and what we're going to do with it. We've had a couple of other
Or see you.
that have helped us out, including Aquatic Designs in Monrovia, Indiana. They have amazing gardens there, and they are going to help us with our koi sale that we're supposed to have in April. We can't keep all the koi that we have in the pond. There are just too many, so they're going to help us find homes for some of them. And the DNR has helped us, as well as our Purdue outreach scientists.
The Purdue outreach scientists talked us into presenting at HACI, which is the Indiana Teachers Conference last week. So that was interesting to present what we were doing in our classrooms.
Okay. Is your mic plugged into the right jack on there?
Collect data. We want to start working on our video and making sure that we're getting everything done with that. We want to continue to work on the pond and make sure that the stream area and the woods stay clean.
Is the system computer is Monday?
Try and let me know when you can hear me. Okay, I'm going for the I go for the visual, but I'm guessing hearing me is probably more important. Okay. Let's just have this audio visual, but whatever. Yeah, the dog in the background would be that. Anyways, yeah, obviously, I'm not sure where Chris is because I've been in contact with him up until this afternoon, and him and his wife are sending me a couple of pictures of all the snow. The blizzard has kind of put us out of commission. We've been out of school since last Thursday. It's been a week now, and February vacation starts on Monday. So if we're lucky, we have one day back, and then we start all over again. So just to show you guys a little bit about what we do. It took a little while to get it up and going. We have a good group of kids that are there all the time. Yeah, just to